just see that is 2 feet tall. Then the next one is 1 foot tall. Next one is 6 inches tall. Next one is 3 inches. Next one is 1.5 inches. So that's the chimney on top. So one type of flute has a chimney on top. Closing the swell pedal. Like you would do your volume pedal, you bring it down. Now you're bringing it up. What happens when you bring it up? The shutters open. What happens when the shutters open? More sound comes out. The first part, we will just quickly look at a specific verse and then we will move on. One verse is Psalm 33:3. Sing to him a new song. Play skillfully with a shout of joy. Today's verse, 1 Chronicles 23:5. 1 Chronicles 23:5. "4,000 shall offer praises to the Lord with the instruments that I have made for praise." With the instruments that I have made for praise. So we are looking at an instrument that has been made by somebody. We are looking at how it works. And we are interested, we are participating because this instrument has been made for God's praise. We will look at the front of the organ quickly. So we can see 3 manuals, 3 keyboards. Each of those has a keyboard like your electronic keyboard or the piano that you have.
It is only 4 plus octaves.
So you can see the white notes and the black notes. There are 3 of them. They are called, the lowest here is called the choir, the great and the swell. In this particular 3 manual organ, the lowest is the choir, the middle is the great, and the top is the swell. We have organs with a single manual, 2 manuals, 3, 4, 5.
Some with 6 or more manuals, but the great is usually just below the swell, and here the one below the great is the choir.
If you can look underneath, you would be able to see the pedals. If you can notice, there are again the 5 black notes, 2 black and 3 black, 2 black and 3 black, 2 black. So that is similar to the manual that you would play by hand, but you use the feet to play it. So you can notice the black notes, and in between them are the white notes which you use. So 2 black notes, 3 black notes, 2 black notes, 3 black notes, as there would be on the manual, and you have the 3 white notes around the 2 black and the 4 white notes around the 3 black. So these are used to play. I can show you how it would be played. So the foot would be used. So the toe of the foot okay, toe of the foot, right foot, left foot, and the heel. This is the heel of the left foot, heel of the right foot. So I can do a left toe, right toe, left toe. Okay? But the main point is that it is the same as the manuals which you play with your fingers. here you play with your feet, but the same black note, white note is there. Now when you look at the manual, at any of the manuals, you have your notes. So you can play any note like you would okay. So you can play any note. Okay. Now on the right there is the open diapason which I have pulled out. So it is this sound which is sounding when I play. So each note that I played is this particular sound. So I played a C, a D, an E, all that is this sound. I can pull another stop, the violin diapason, and it is a different sound. You can hear the difference. These are all the same as your piano or keyboard. This has a 8-foot. It has 8-foot pipes. You also have 4-foot pipes. So that is your flute, which is a 4-foot. You have a 15th, which is 2-foot. So I can do the flute. That is my middle C with a 4-foot. Middle C with the 8-foot. 4-foot, 2-foot. So as the length of the pipe increases, the pitch decreases. As the length of the pipe decreases, the pitch increases. So your 4-foot is half an 8-foot, so the pitch is twice. So the 8-foot pitch, 4-foot length of the pipe is half, pitch is twice, is an octave above. So 8-foot, 4-foot, 2-foot.
16-foot pitch is half of 8.
The next point is that when one stop is pulled out, one note, it is one pipe through which air flows. So there is one pipe which is making this sound. I am pressing the same note. This is a different pipe. So for that one note, we have had two different pipes. This is one, this is the other. Same note. For a particular stop, I can play a different note. Now I am playing the D, so that can be a different stop. Sorry, different note. So this has a pipe, this has a pipe. So each note on the keyboard, each stop has an individual pipe. Okay. Each note on the keyboard, each stop has an individual pipe. I spoke about the length of the pipe, and we said you may have a pipe which is 8 foot. So the 8-foot pipes, the lowest note, the pipe is 8 feet long. For those of us who remember the physics, this is because it's an open pipe. When it is a closed pipe,
The pitch is halved, 1 octave below 8 foot.
so a 4-foot closed pipe would have the same note as a 8-foot open pipe. We will look at this when we see the actual pipes. But I think these were the main things I wanted to show from the front. We looked at the manuals and the pedal manuals, and we saw that it is the same keyboard which has individual notes. We looked at the stops, and we said that for one stop, one note, there is a pipe. We looked at the octaves, and we looked at a note on middle C, which was the same as the keyboard. That same note with a different stop, a 4-foot stop is an octave higher, with a 2-foot stop is 2 octaves higher. So those are the things that we have seen. We said something about a closed pipe and an open pipe and an open-ended pipe. We will just look at one more point and then move on from here. The pipes belong to two families, two sounds. So one is what we heard, and another is that. Here it is called a trumpet, and so that's a trumpet. These kind of flues, the pipes are called flues in general. The trumpet is a reed, so a reed versus a flue. You can hear the difference. There is another reed and another flue. Okay, so reed, a non-reed sound, which is a flue. Among the flues there are 3 types. So this is one of the diapasons. The diapasons together. Diapasons, strings, flutes. Flutes. Okay, so we have the reeds and the flues. We have, among the flues, we have the diapasons, the flutes, the strings. I want to make a point about the facade pipes. If you can just show me the facade pipes. So these are the ornamental pipes in front that you see. They can either be speaking or non-speaking. The Kirk organ, the facade pipes, are speaking pipes. So they are the lowest in the open diapasons. So those are actually coming through the facade pipes, the pipes that you can see in the center. Then there are two clusters on either side. Those are the violin diapasons. Okay, so that is as much as I want to do at the front of the organ. I am just showing you the facade pipes. I have said that they may speak or not speak. If they are not speaking, they are just ornamental. In this organ, they speak. They are used as pipes. We will move on to the back of the organ, and I am happily opening up. We have Samson with us, but I have happily opened up. So you can see the inside from the front. I want to show you what happens when a note is played. So if I play one of those notes, if you can see, can you see that moving? I'm pressing it, it's gone up. I'm leaving it, it has come down. I'm pressing it, it has gone up. I'm leaving it, it has come down. What you can see inside is that it is all wood and metal. This is a mechanical action organ or a tracker action organ. So there is no electrical parts here. There's no electronics here. Everything is wood or metal and it moves. So I've played that note. Okay. What I'm pressing as the key is actually a lever. So there is a fulcrum in the middle, a pin. So when I press here, the other end of this long key is raised. Here it comes down, there it goes up.
Like a child's seesaw.
When you press down on one side, the other side goes up. So I have pressed this here and it has, the lever, the keys has gone up on the other side. I have pressed another note, that has gone up. Another note, and that has gone up. Okay? And when it goes up, it has pushed up. And you can see the top of that has pushed up. We may not be able to easily see, but the wooden strips at the back, the vertical strips, they will move corresponding to this. So when I press here, it moves up. You can just see a shake, but that is actually moving up. Okay. When we are at the back of the organ, I will explain why I have gone to this. The other thing I want you to see We've got the grit. Now the pipes, we said the taller the pipe, the lower the note. So we have tall pipes and we have very short pipes. On this organ and most organs, both sides would have tall pipes. We will see when we go in. We cannot see from here, I think. Through, the facade pipes are blocking, but on both sides we have tall pipes and they come down to the center to the short pipes. So the note which I press, I said I press the key, the other end of the lever moves up, that pushes up, and so on. Okay? Okay, now what I want to show, if you can go straight into those blue, okay? If you can hold that. Okay, so I pressed the key that has pulled something down. Is that coming through? Would you be able to go closer or zoom in? Is that coming through on what you're showing? The movement up and down as I change. Yeah, you can. It's a little slow compared to my speaking, so I will let the video show. Okay, you can see the movement. It's not in sync with my speaking, so that should be, and then it's moved. Now what I want you to see is the other end of that same. So Arul, if you can move on the left, you can see the movement. Can you show that? Okay, yeah, as long, okay. So that is the same key I am pressing. So what was moving on the right side has got translated through those rods, the rollers. Okay, so on the right side it is being pulled down. That is moving the roller. It's a rod, so it is rotating. On the right side it has been pulled down. So the left side also is pulled down. Okay, the right side is being pulled down, the left side is being pulled down. Okay, and that in turn, if you can see, pulls down a wooden strip, a tracker, a pull down which is just above that. I think it's a little difficult to see that moving. Okay. So just above what is moving, there is a strip. Okay. So we are pressing a key. The end of the key does something. That pushes something up. That pulls something in. That is pulling something down. That turns the roller. So the other end of that roller, that pipe, turns, that pulls something down. So this is part of the mechanical action that we are looking at. Okay. Now ultimately this pulls a pallet which opens. We said that this note, I'm looking only one stop, one note, there is one pipe. So this particular one ultimately for this one pipe will pull down a pallet for this note so that the air can go into the pipe. The air blows into the pipe. So key pressed here, lifted up, through wooden pieces and the roller. Ultimately, there is something which is pulled down. The tracker, the pull down, ultimately pulls a pallet down, a small piece, which opens up airflow for that particular note. And right now I've got one stop, and so the air rushes into that one pipe. It blows into that one pipe, and we hear the sound. So that is how the mechanical action, the connection between pressing your note and the actual sound, that is how that comes through. So now we are going to move to the back. I have showed you some of the back from the front itself because that makes it easier to see. We will now move to the back. So can you show this bit as much as okay. So this is where what we saw from the keyboard. This is what we had seen from the keyboard. Okay to here? Okay. This is in terms of the mechanical connection. You press a key and the pallet is opened. Okay. We will look at the airflow part of this now. So this is one section, two sections we have done now. One, we looked at the front, the various things that were happening. Then we have looked at the action, and now we are going to look at the air flow. Okay. These are the blowers in these boxes. So these are blowers with a motor, and it blows out air. The air comes out through these large pipes from the blower into the reservoir, which holds the air. You can see the end of the pipe, of these three pipes. Okay. So we have the pipe, the end of that going into the reservoir which holds the air. Now we can go back. Okay, so if you can show this, this is where the air, the body of air is kept. We have weights on top. So these weights maintain the pressure of the air. So it's a constant pressure which is maintained. So the air flows out, air is kept at a constant measure, and it flows out in that. Okay. And then now we move to these pipes. We can see, so the air in the reservoir, and then moving Samson's also blowing there. Okay, this square thing. Okay. Now if you can go up and come down on that same. Okay. And it is coming down. It is a square pipe, big square pipe, and it is going up into the wind chest. And if you can show the lower end right at the bottom, okay, that is coming from the reservoir. That is coming from the reservoir. Okay, so you can see the reservoir on the left, which we saw earlier. The other end, the blower was blowing air. The air is kept in these bellows or reservoir, and from here the air goes up to the wind chest. So the air is available there, and we said we pulled, and that pull down pallet which opens up a particular note. Maybe if you can just show that left, that is what we started with. So that is the action that we had, and when we were sitting in front of the organ, we saw that those go up and down. Now we have seen where the air is going, these go up and down, and they open for a particular note. So we have seen the action, we have seen how the air flows. One thing of interest which some of us are used to, which part of ancient history, if you can see this lever which is here, in the old days, as I said, nothing is electric and so on, but we saw the electric blower. In the old days, it was actually pumped manually. There were 3 people here, and 2 of us at least have done this pumping. The Arul is holding the camera and the Arul is speaking. So it would go up. It will be okay now? Okay. I always worry quite a bit for one. And you can see on the other side. Okay. So it has pulled open the bellows, and I can push it down. Okay. So the lever goes up. This is pumping air. It's not that great on my back, but okay. And we can pump. As you can see with my struggles, it needs 3 people ideally, especially when all the stops are out. You need a lot of air, but that is just to show a piece of history. We have completed looking at the action, looking at the air flow. Now I want to show some pipes from down here itself before Samson kindly goes up. So if you can show these, this set, the metal set. Okay, so those are metal pipes, flue. You can see the mouth, and that has a edge or a flue against which the air blows. So like your flute, when you blow air across the edge, that is what actually sets up the vibrations and you hear the sound. So imagine a flute with air blowing against the edge. So here the air comes from below. We saw the wind chest. The air comes from below, flows through the pipe from below, and therefore hits the edge, hits the flue, and like a flute which we are blowing into, vibration is set up and sound is made. The length of the pipe is between this edge and the top. You can see the leftmost, the tall pipes. Those are, I think, the 8 foot. So the 8 foot open for the lowest C would be 8 foot. So the same, yeah, so this is open. If we can move a little to the right, we can see the wooden pipes on the right of this, a set of wooden pipes. So it can be metal, it can be wood, it gives a different quality of sound. If you can try to go to the top or even of the shortest wooden pipe, or if you can take us to the top. So that is where, yeah, if you can see a sort of knob-like thing that holds the stopper, which closes the top of the pipe. So those are closed pipes. Those wooden pipes are closed pipes. So we have a 8 foot pipe in length, closed. So this note is a 16 foot note. So your normal 8 foot pipe open, the bottom C is that sound, the same sound as a keyboard. Bottom C in an open 8-foot pipe is your C on the keyboard. Here it is a closed pipe. So what does that mean? It is the equivalent of 16 foot. So what does that mean? It is an octave below. So if you play the lowest C, this would be the octave below, 1 octave below. So I have just showed you sample pipes, metal open, wooden closed. So I said there are flues and there are reeds. I've shown you only the flues. The reeds are up and they will be better. If you can zoom out. Yeah. So these are the pipes that you can't see from down here. Okay. So towards the front, towards the further end is the facade that you saw. So we are behind. Yes, you can see those metal. So that is the back end of the facade pipes. Is that correct, Samson? So the furthest, okay, the furthest, which is perpendicular, to what he is showing in the center. Samson, if you can show the center, okay. So that is the back of the facade pipes, okay. Now, Samson, if you can go to the left. To the left, I want to show the tall pipes on the left. If you can see the tall pipes going towards the left. And then if you go to the right, if you can go to the right, I can see the tall pipes on the right. And as you move towards the center, the pipes get shorter and shorter. So what does that mean? The center pipes are the highest notes. The center pipes that we are looking at are the highest notes. Move to the left, Samson, just to see the high pipes, the long pipes. So those are the lowest notes. So the lowest notes, and then down here in the center are the highest notes. What you can see is something I said from the bottom. Both the right and both ends have tall pipes. So both ends have the low notes. So how does that work? The lowest note, the pipe is on one side. The next note, the pipe is on the other side. First side, second side, first side, second side. So which notes are on the first side? Your C, your D, your E, and then what? Your F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. What is on the other side? The C sharp, D sharp, F, G, A,
B.
So one side, next side, one side, next side, one side. So your C is on one side, first side, C sharp is the second side. D is first side, D sharp is second side. E is first side, F is second side. F sharp is first side. Okay, so it goes from side to side. So when you're tuning a pipe, so the person down will play C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, so that the tuner up here will be having the notes side by side. Okay. So that is in terms of the tall pipes, the short pipes, the two ends of the pipes. Now we will look at a reed. If you can show me the trumpet, it's a little further away, but if you can show me the big trumpet. Yeah, okay. So that's the trumpet. And what you can actually see is the resonator. What you can actually see is the resonator. So it is a big pipe, and oh, you have taken it out. Thanks.
Yes.
Okay. So this is a short This is one of the higher notes, and you can see the resonator on top. The lower part is the foot, and then you have the tuning
String.
tuning. So if you can see the small metal thing on the right, that gets pulled up or down. Okay, so each of these pipes can be pulled out like Samson pulled out. So all these he's showing the reeds, the trumpet, which is one of the reeds. So the reeds have an actual reed, a flapping, vibrating reed inside. Okay, so it's like a reed instrument. You have something which actually vibrates, the reed which vibrates. Okay, and that is inside what Samson showed. You cannot see that. So we talked about reed versus flues. So he's shown one reed, the trumpet. Samson, can you show the clarionet? The choir reed should be closer to you. The choir reed should be closer. Yeah. So this shape, the clarionet shape would be different.
This one.
Clarinet. This is
Okay,
clarinet.
so that's the clarionet. How do we know that it's a reed? Down there you can see the tuning.
Tuning.
What
Right.
is that called?
That's the tuning rod.
Tuning rod, okay, which is used. Okay,
Clarinet.
okay. So, yeah, okay. So we are, Samson was showing us the clarionet, which is the reed on the choir, the lowest manual. Okay, so if you can show us the tuning rod on that. Yeah, so that's, where's the clarionet, the choir? Yeah, okay. So this has closer to you. That will be the one I think closest to you. Oh, Samson's gone in now. Okay, so further away from Samson. Samson's actually standing between the grate and the choir, between the grate pipes and the choir pipes. So he's now showing us the choir pipes and the choir clarionet. Samson, so if you can show us the bottom of one of the reeds. I just want to see the tuning so that we can see that it's different from how the flue pipe worked. We saw that on the trumpet. I just wanted to show this on the choir reed as well. Yeah. So down there, would you be able to get to one of the tuning rods? Okay, you got it in your hand. Okay. So that is a choir clarionet, a choir reed. And you can see this is one of the tiny ones. So one of the high notes. And actually the tuning rod is almost as tall as the pipe itself, as the resonator itself. Okay, and the tuning is actually below. The tuning rod comes down. Okay, so the reed is inside that, the actual reed. Okay, so what we are seeing is only the resonator. So Samson, is what you're showing the actual reed? Is that the reed or it's inside that, right?
Reed. That's
That's
the
the
reed.
reed.
That's the reed.
The
Okay,
The brass one is the reed.
so the bottom, the brass that you can see is the actual reed itself. Okay, or in that. So that's so as you can see, that is different from what we saw, the trumpet. So this is a clarionet, this is a reed on the choir manual, that's the lowest manual, and we saw the trumpet, the big guy, which is on the great manual. So we looked at one set of pipes, we call that a rank, how it goes from tall to short. We have looked at the reed, we had looked at the flue earlier. When we were down, we looked at the flue and in terms of the open pipe and the closed pipe. Samson, can you show the great? Okay, so it is the furthest away, I think, would be the open diapason. Somewhere in the middle, you can see the stopped diapason. So this is a flute family. This is a flute family. And so this is a wooden stop. It is a stopped pipe. So the height would be, the pitch would be twice the height. Would you be able to play for us? I have asked Jebin to play for us. Lots of people here to help. So Jebin, can you play the great stopped diapason? Great stopped diapason. Yeah, only that. Only the great stopped diapason. All the other stops are pushed in? Okay, so great, only the stopped diapason. Yes, okay. Now I want you to play the great flute alone. Same notes, great flute alone, without the 8 foot. Without the 8 foot. Yeah, okay. So that is another flute on the great. That is a metal pipe. I think next, which is next to the wooden pipe that we saw. So those are, that is another flute. So as you can see, these are all flute family. The sound is different. Here it's actually an octave different, but the tone is different. Maybe we can see it better if you can play the choir flute. I think it's a gedekt on the right side. Just it's not called the flute, it's a gedakt 8 foot. So only that on the choir. It will be on the right side. Gedakt, not the flute. That's a 4 foot, just to the right of that. Just to the right of that. It's called gedakt. Okay? Yeah, okay. So that is another flute. And you can hear the difference in sound. So play that and the great stop diapason. Great stop diapason. And the choir. Yeah. Choir gedakt. Just play the choir gedakt, what you have got pulled out. Yeah. Just play individual notes. Yeah. Now the great. That's the stop diapason on the great. Okay. Okay. So both are flutes. Okay. The same notes, but they are different. Now play the flute on the great. Yeah. Flute on the choir. Only the flute. Yeah, without the gedakt. Yeah. On the great. Okay. The tones are different. We have seen the two different pipes on the great. Samson, if you can show us the choir. Choir?
Yes.
Yes.
So the swell is on your left, huh?
Want to go
Want to go to swell?
Swell is towards your left. Yeah, so you can see the wooden pipes. So that's one of the flutes. Then there is another flute. Okay, so we have 4 flutes and we saw the difference. Each of them are made in a different way. Some of them are closed metal. Here you can see a flute with the top enclosed with the lid on top. Chimney.
Chimney.
Thanks, Samson. So that's the chimney on top. So one type of flute has a chimney on top. So that's the chimney on top. So one type of flute has a chimney on top. Sounds, and we have 4 different types of pipes. One thing I want to show is the 2-foot stop. Which is easier, Samson, choir or great? Great 2-foot? That will be right next to you, no?
Great.
Okay. So Jebin, if you can pull out the 2-foot on the great, play the lowest note.
Okay, that's the lowest note of the 2 foot. So if you can show us the 2 foot tall pipes, Samson, if you can show us the 2 foot, the tallest pipes. Great. It's difficult to see now, okay? Yeah, you may need to come out a bit, I think. I need the tallest pipes of the 2 foot. So towards your left. Yeah, okay. If you can back out. Yeah, okay. So those are the tallest of the 2 foots coming to the shortest. So we said the 2 foot is between the mouth and the top. So your bottom C is 2 foot. So your next C will be how long? 1 foot. Your middle C will be how long? 6 inches. Your next C will be 3 inches. The C above that will be 1.5 inches tall. So Jebin, if you can play the lowest C, that's on the 2 foot. Okay, so that's the lowest C, that is 2 feet tall. Then the next one is 1 foot tall. Next one is 6 inches tall. Next one is 3 inches. Next one is 1.5 inches. Do you have more notes above that? Above that? They may not sound. Yeah. Okay. So those are 1 inch and less. Samson, would you be able to pull out one of those tiny guys? Okay. So that between, you can see the distance between the mouth and the top. If you can rotate and show us the mouth. Yeah, just hold it. Yeah, if you can see the mouth, it's a bit hazy. So that is just one, yeah, he is showing you the mouth. That is just 1 inch from there to the top. So that's the tiniest of them. Okay. So how tiny the pipes can be, how large the pipes can be. Okay. From there, can you show pedal pipes, Samson, once you put this in? Can you show the big pedal pipes from inside or from the gangway?
Yeah,
from you.
We are going to see the pedal pipes. He's showing you from there. Okay. So the tallest, these are the wooden pedal pipes, the bourdon. So the tallest ones. Can we see the metal? You may need to come to the walkway, I think. Or you can show from there. Okay. So these are the tall pedal pipes which are on one side. So these are stopped, as you can see. That's a good place to see the stopped. So there's the knob. Samson, if you can hold on and just show that stopper. Yeah, so you can see that handle.
Can you see that?
Yeah, okay.
This
This is the tuning slide.
Yeah, okay. So the thing on top, what you can see, which is different from the metal, is the tuning slide. So what did we say? We said the longer the pipe, the shorter the pitch. The shorter the pipe, the higher the pitch. So if you push the tuning slide down slightly, your length of pipe changes. If you push the tuning slide down slightly, your length of pipe becomes slightly less. So what happens to the note? It gets a little higher in pitch. So if the note that you're playing is a little sharp, what do you need to do? You need to take the tuning slide outward. So when you take it outward, the pitch will reduce. If your note is flat, the note you're playing, you find that it's out of tune and it's flat, you will push the tuning slide down and that will reduce the length and that will increase the pitch and make it sharper. I think I have covered something, anything else specific? It's yeah, okay. We have covered, and again, thanks to Samson for taking us up and showing the stuff. And I wish I had a camera to show Nithin up there, but with the Andrews back up. Jebin, if you can just open the, yeah, okay. So he's pressed the swell pedal down. So your volume pedal on your keyboard and all that, this is 1880s. So to increase the volume, what happens? These shutters have opened. If you can see the shutters. Now he's closing the shutters. So there is less sound which is going to come out. Okay, so Jebin on the keyboard is closing the shutters, closing the swell pedal. Like you would do your volume pedal, you bring it down. Now you're bringing it up. What happens when you bring it up? The shutters open. What happens when the shutters open? More sound comes out. All the swell pipes are inside this big box, and the swell increases, the sound increases or decreases by pressing that pedal which opens these shutters. Okay?
If any of you have questions, can you raise your hand? Yes, Amy, please go ahead.
Good evening, Uncle. I wanted to know how many pipes are there in total.
You will need to calculate. So
More than 2,000. It's more
number
than
of-
2,000.
Can you hear the what did Samson say?
More than
More than
2,000.
2,000, that's
54 pipes
four pipes
each.
each.
Stop.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we are looking at 54 notes, 56 notes, and we have so many stops. So 54 into the number of
Great, right?
stops. Yeah, great. There is 9, 6 on the quad, some 10 on the swell. Okay, so that's roughly about 25, 30. So 30 into 50, roughly 1,500, 2,000 stops. So that thing which I said at the beginning is important. One note, one stop, one pipe. I have not spoken about mixtures. We will, I think, take more questions. I will just talk about mixtures. Mixtures has, we have a 3-rank mixture, so there are 3 pipes for each note. Jebin is still there. If you can pull out a mixture, great mixture, and play a middle C. And on the choir, do a flute 8-foot or something, get at 8-foot. Yeah. Choir. Okay, so that's your single C, middle C. Okay, you can't really make out. So that's 3 different pipes playing. So that's one pipe. On the mixture is 3 different pipes. Yeah, we'll stop that. Okay, more questions?
Uncle, there's one question. How will it be below the bottom of the pipes? How will the air be channeled into each pipe?
Okay.
It comes through the wind chest.
So
From
we
the wind chest
spoke
to
of,
the pipes.
yeah.
This is the wind chest. From that, the air is blown into these pipes. The pallet is connected with the tracker from the keyboard. From the keyboard to the tracker to the pallets. It's connected to the wind chest, and the wind chest opens the pallets and pushes the air to the pipe.
Thank you, Samson. I have not covered sliders. So when a stop is pulled out, those pipes are made available by a slider moving. The holes on the slider come under those pipes. So the air from the wind chest can now blow into any of the pipes of that stop. So what Samson showed you is one pipe. So air comes out through that hole, and there is air available below in the wind chest.
There's another question, 2 more questions. How long does it take to tune the organ?
2 to 3 hours.
If it is a tuned organ.
Thanks, Uncle. Could you please specify the function of the knob on the top of the wooden pipes?
That is the tuning stop. Same function of these slides. It will adjust the height of the pipes. If the stop goes in, the pipe will get to this one, the end, and that you can tune this with this. This is the tuning stop. It's called tuning stop. It will travel up and down.
Thank you. May I know what the composition of the ranks within the swell and grate mixtures are?
Yeah, we were trying to figure this out. Yeah, so basically when you play middle C, you will get a C, a G, and the next C in the octaves above. Samson, would you have a better answer to that?
Can you repeat it?
Sorry?
Yes. May I know what the composition of ranks within the swell and grate mixtures are?
Yeah, Samson, if I'm correct, we were not able to answer this as yet. So the question, I spoke about 3 pipes for each note. So let's say you are playing the middle C. One pipe could be the C, 2 C's above, the G above that, and the C above that. But the exact composition of these particular mixtures, we are not sure.
Thanks, Uncle. What material are the metal pipes made of?
It's lead pipes. It's lead.
Okay. Instead of the virtual organ, will it be possible to build smaller versions of pipe organ for newer churches of the present era?
Arul has to answer this, Anna.
I just would say Samson can answer this. So it is possible to have small organs, one manual. I would like 2 manuals, few stops, but the technology remains the same and difficult. So you have seen the insides today, and remember, it's like building a violin. Software, we are almost, or we are the same as anywhere in the world. Making piano, no. So this is like making a piano. It is an instrument and it needs to be built. Smaller is good, but what is needed is still the same. It's just that here we have 1,500, 2,000. You may have 500. You may have less mechanical involved, but it is difficult.
Thanks, Uncle. How much of the present organ is original, meaning that over the years, would most of it have been replaced?
Samson, can you take that? I think most of it is the same. Tuning slides have been put in. Samson?
everything is original. Na? We have replaced only few.
Yeah, we have
Only few
replaced
pipes,
only a few pipes.
The broken
We have-
ones.
Yeah.
All are it's original. Everything is original.
Thank
Only
you.
the slides we have changed.
Thank
So-
Slides,
you.
tuning slides are new.
Yeah, the tuning slides are new. We said that the changing the length of the pipe changes the pitch. The maintenance on this organ, the changing the length was made by tearing the top end of the pipe. So you tear more, the length of the pipe becomes less, and then you try to push it back. Okay, that was the method of tuning. So that was one big change that Christopher Gray did, is to put these tuning slides, which we showed, which can move up or down. They're not loose, but they can be gently tapped up or down. So that has been the main change.
There's a request to share more about the history of this particular organ.
I'll say a little bit, and then if Samson knows anything more. So this is an organ which was installed in the mid 1880s,
Around 1883.
or so, if I remember. This is built by a company in the UK called
Peter Conacher and Co.
Huddersfield, Conacher and Co. and shipped out and installed. From then, it has been in use. Over many years, there have been attempts to restore it. There have been letters saying that it is in terrible shape. So this was 1885 or so. St. Andrew's, Bangalore is very similar, and I think just a year or so earlier than this. One of the reasons why Christopher Gray said he started helping us restore, this was about 20 years ago, is that there were so many organs which had come from England to India, but there was no restoration or maintenance support. But now he had wanted to come in and help. I hope that gave some part to it. I still remember, I can just share one or two points quickly. When I started playing the organ, we had to pull out a set of stops together. Between them, some note or the other would work. So we would pull out 5 stops. And it was amazing after restoration how individual stops could be heard. Like today, Jebin was able to pull out a particular flute and it was heard.
There's a question from Eben. Was the previous system of tuning scroll or cone based?
Samson, anything on this scroll or cone based?
Pardon?
Alan, Eben has asked whether the previous system was tuning scroll or cone based.
It was like this only, no? I don't get you.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what name you would give. Definitely not cone based.
No, no.
Definitely by tearing. So maybe that was the scroll, but definitely the top edge of the pipes was damaged in the attempt at tuning. Okay, we'll move on.
How often does an organ need to be tuned?
Um,
Oh dear.
in this particular organ, it is nice to do it sort of every 3-4 months. Most of the organ would remain in tune. The problem is that if one note changes, then that stop is difficult to use. So you can imagine playing a hymn and there is a very badly out of tune note. So there are some stops which go out of tune quickly. Some stops are very stable. So that 2 foot on the choir that we showed, those tiny pipes get out of tune very easily. As you can imagine, for a 1 inch, just a tiny bit makes a big difference. We are thanking Samson. He needs to move on. As you can see, it made so much of a difference up there, and he's been with the organ from when the restoration started.
Uncle, there's 2 more questions, and we can close with that probably. How does using the pedal change the tone of the note? Or do the pedals function as individual notes?
The pedals which we showed, which have the same black notes and white notes, are just like a manual. You press one of those, that note sounds. Okay. So there are a few combination pedals that I have not talked about. So on this mechanical organ, pressing one of those would pull out a set of stops. So pressing them would pull out a step of stops. These are further in. The notes I showed, the pedals I showed, are the same as the manual, and pressing a black note is the same as pressing the top black note.
Thanks, Uncle. In one of the great manuals rank, I guess it is flute 4 feet, I see some pipes are not in perfect ascending order. Why is it so?
I'm not sure because Samson has come down. If you looked at that particular rank, it should have been ascending. Can you say more or type more?
Hi, would you like to add to your question, Dennis?
Yeah.
He says he'll try to send a pic.
Okay.
Is there any CAD or CAD drawing of this pipe organ, or can an attempt be made to make one currently?
As far as I know, there is no CAD drawing, and from what we saw today, it is not easy. We could take from existing and maybe modify, but I have just shown you the basic areas of what is there. I haven't gone into the complications. Like the pipes we saw at the beginning are part of a rank, but they are sitting at the side separately. And like was pointed out now, there was no order in the what we saw. So it is difficult. I do not know if it is done elsewhere. If it has been done elsewhere, I still think it would be difficult to adapt here, and it will need somebody who has that level of information and skill, and if we can have somebody at that organ level. I think it's like doing a CAD drawing of a violin. In one sense, there must be. Here it is more complex because it is each instrument is different. There is one difference with the pipe organ, even to play and what is inside. A quick look at the picture which has come. Each of those ranks is actually increasing. So the wooden rank, for example, it is 2 rows which are staggered, but as you can see from the left to the right of the wooden pipes, it is gradually increasing. The same way for each of the ranks, either further away or closer. If you can see the pipes closest to the wooden, you can see, if you follow that carefully, it is going higher and higher. The line next to that is again going higher and higher. Are you talking about the pipes at the end?
Hi, Uncle. This is Dennis, and I posted the question.
Yeah.
Yes, so maybe it's a parallax I'm starting to feel,
Yeah.
but I just noticed that there are actually the ranks of a pipe or like in pairs, and
Yeah.
I could see a sudden spike in the height of the pipes next to the stopped wooden rank, and then it started again. So I thought maybe is there an aberration or it's? I mean, what was happening there? I was intrigued.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling it might be a parallax.
Yeah. So you need to follow the row from the left in that row and not get confused by the next row. You can see the next row. So if you look at the left, you can see 2 rows clearly.
Yes.
But that is getting a bit more confused as you go further right. So you will need to stick to one row. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Uncle.
There's a request to please share the basic things to be followed to maintain the pipe organ.
That's a good question. I think it needs a trained person And like I said, software, we are the same or better or the best. But instrument manufacture, Western instrument manufacture and maintenance, we are not. This is a difficult question, but getting someone trained either directly or indirectly would be needed. I haven't covered enough in this course to be able for someone to do it themselves. I don't think I have the expertise. Samson has been doing certain organs. There are other external experts, but this is one area.
That's the end of the questions.
Okay. We'll close with prayer. Thank you, Lord, for this day and this evening, and for so much that you've put into this instrument and other instruments like this, and in other kinds of pipe organs, the digital, the virtual. We thank you. We thank you for each individual who has participated. In Jesus' name, Amen. This video is the recording of an interactive online talk given on 9th November 2025. The subsequent audio editing incorporates input from Arun George John, Avinash Grubb, Crispen, Mark Benjamin, and Reuben Rhuphus. Thank you all.